unbelievable. There's so many people here. Everyone is having a great time. Everyone's super happy. This is a very well attended. This is the third year for you guys, right?
Third year, yeah. And it's going great.
Okay, that was Lance, one of the co-founders of the Vinyl Herd. They're a local, I guess they're around the country. It's an online community of vinyl record collectors and enthusiasts. Originally founded here in Fort Collins, Colorado. Lance and Nick are the guys. This was the third annual Northern Colorado record show that those guys have organized and are putting on. Held at the same venue the last 3 years, Breckenridge Brewery here in Fort Collins, kind of on the northeast side of Fort Collins. This was packed. It's only a one-day show. They do have an early bird, which I did take advantage of from 10 to 11, and then regular attendance from 11 to 5. What a cool venue. I've talked about this in the past. You know, you have a brewery on site, you have food available. You had a beautiful day. You've got patios. They had the fire pits going, although we didn't need them. I mean, I think it got up to like 77 degrees yesterday. I did a very focused hit there. I was there from 10 to 1. Got a text from somebody that I live with telling me that the boys needed to have a walk and it was such a beautiful day, yada, yada, yada. And I was about ready to have a beer and lunch. Decided to go home and had a better option there as far as lunch was concerned. Enough about that. Let's talk about the record. So, this is very cool. This is the 1990 reissue of the first Paul Simon solo record. Everybody knows this record. But take a close look here. Do you see this cover image is kind of cropped in, right? And this was the DMM cut. I've been looking for this, and it sounds absolutely fantastic. So a 1990 modern cut at that point in time. You can see right there on the label, the DMM is clearly identified. Let's take a look. Of course, you're going to be able to see the difference here. So the original right here, no crop in. They're using the same image, but we have a crop here. So really happy to find this, very reasonable, and this is not easy to find. I've been looking for this at shows for the last 2 years. There was kind of an end cap, a new guy there that hadn't been there the last couple of years. I have seen him in Denver at the Rocky Mountain Record Show, and he has a ton of reasonably priced jazz. So this, of course, is Miles, the Quintet Sextet record. Really, really fun record. Milt Jackson, of course, is all over this. Jackie McLean on alto. Miles is in fine form. This was what? This is the mid 1950s. And you can see that there's no barcode here. This is an original 1982 OJC. And, I think the secret is out, unfortunately. These things are really creeping up. The original non-barcoded OJCs are creeping up in value. And I was happy to get this for, I think, $20. I'll show you some other Miles titles that I got for under $30. It was all about kind of filling in some Miles Davis holes yesterday. So that's that. This, of course, is ESP. I'm not familiar with this record, but always knew I wanted a copy. Hey, a 1967 2i stereo. Really, really clean, nice copy. Under $30 for this from that same vendor. With Miles, I know and I'm aware. I've got Bitches Brew on the MoFi pressing. I know MoFi has hit it out of the park. Similarly, like they've done with the Dylan catalog, the ones that they've issued. But I just need a clean, great sounding pressing. And for under $30, I'm good. I'm good here. So, great pickup there. Other than, this is an old radio station copy, a repress from, I think I kind of pegged this as 1974. Again, super clean, under $30. Take it all day long. Mel Waldron with Joe Henderson. This is a cool title, and unfortunately, I forgot that I found this at another shop about 2 months ago. Didn't look at my Discogs, didn't remember it, but a very clean pressing for I think this was like $15. So this might find its way into my upcoming record sale. That I'm going to have another Instagram record sale. But anyway, picked up one duplicate here. That's pretty good for me, knowing how I operate sometimes at these shows. Okay, I saved the best for last, and let's show a little video before I get to that last record that I picked up. Check out how many people were at this show. Now, one thing I'm thinking in the back of my mind, after 3 years at this venue, I don't know. It would be nice to maybe expand this and have a little bit of a bigger footprint. You might notice that none of the vendors are able to kind of have walls behind them with the Grail records that they would have, loved to probably display. So, this venue is a little bit limited as far as a footprint. On the flip side, you have a really kind of great atmosphere. Good quality beer available, and most likely capturing some fresh blood, not just kind of grizzled record collectors in there. I saw a lot of younger people. One interesting thing I noticed here, there were 4 vendors, and I haven't seen this before. I've been going to show for 5 years, 6 years now. There were 4 vendors that had bargain boxes specifically titled. There was one vendor who had probably 5 boxes, maybe 8. Everything in a box was $5. There was another guy who had a large 2 boxes of $1 records. There was somebody else selling things for $10 or less. And there was an entire table. Everything was $5. So I don't know if that's kind of a tell on the worries about the economy currently, but interesting that there were a lot of bargains to be had. Okay, I've waited long enough. This is something that I have been looking for, and yeah, it is a classic, and it's a mainstream rock record, but this is one of the best fucking classic rock records of all time. This is Yellow Brick Road. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Elton John, 1973. And this is a first UK trifold printed by Garrett and Lofthouse. This came with the original UK bags inside, and it is the DJM with the yellow. This is an absolute first pressing. This thing just blew me away. It was so clean. The problem with Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, first of all, if you have a U.S. pressing, keep looking. I've gone through the U.S. pressings. They are just garbage. They are so muffled. They are so veiled. They're not dynamic. This is what you want. This is what we all want. A fantastic pressing from 1973. Everybody knows about the drums on the 70s Elton records. They were recorded so incredibly well. Produced by Gus Dudgeon and engineered by David Henschel. That is the gold standard, and Elton and Bernie Taupin knew what they were doing back in the 70s by using Gus Dudgeon and David Henschel so often. Now, what I'm holding in my hand here is the kind of renowned and sleeper audiophile half-speed mastered super disc pressing. This was my go-to before I heard the UK DJM, and that is the dark burgundy ruby red translucent pressing. I might be all the way up now on all the early UK pressings from Elton's catalog from the 70s that were translucent, and they weren't all like that. Later pressings, they dropped that particular pressing plan. I think it was Pye, P-Y-E, and that's a Tranco vinyl compound. I think I'm right there. I might be. Feel free to correct me in the comments if I am getting that wrong. But you know what? I need to give this another listen, because right now I am thinking that this DJM UK first is going to be my keeper. I am trying to get away from hanging on to duplicates. It's a new thing that I've started in 2025. I bought one duplicate at this show, but usually I will find multiple duplicates. I just can't say no sometimes, especially if you don't find these records very often. I will make exceptions. If there are A&M, Robin Hitchcock, and the Egyptians records, I'm going to buy them. If there are clean early Husker Du records, I might buy those too. Anyway, this is fantastic. This could be the thumbnail. That is it. That was yesterday. That was the Northern Colorado Record Show put on by the Vinyl Herd. Thanks again to Lance and Nick. Fantastic job. Good marketing. I know Nick does all the marketing for the show. There was a record-breaking crowd there. I was impressed. I want to do a shout-out, say hello to Tice, who I ran into. He has a YouTube channel, Sound of Minder. I was looking for Steve Carlson. He didn't make it up. Poetry and Plastic. Didn't see Michael either. Come on, guys. Come on up to the show. Support your regional Colorado record shows. I shouldn't really talk because I haven't been down to the Colorado Springs show. That's it for today. Thank you, everybody, and take care.